We got Nasrat Haqparast back here on the program. He's going to be taking on Thibault Gouti coming up here at UFC Fight Night 138. Nasrat, how are you, my man?
I feel amazing, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hear you're getting a lot of rain out in Montreal. You're at a coffee shop now, I understand?
Yeah, exactly. It's raining outside, so I don't want to go home now.
Right. No, for sure. Getting some winter weather coming up here in Montreal. But let's talk about your last fight, man. You get that unanimous decision over Marc Diakiese. You must have been so happy with your performance, especially the fact that you were an underdog heading into the fight.
Yeah, man. Like, Marc Diakiese is a really high fighter, and being the underdog, a lot of people, they thought we're going to lose, but we did our best. We got the victory, and now we look forward.
You certainly do. And how much weight was lifted off your shoulders getting a win like that and getting your first UFC victory?
Of course, it felt amazing, but it's not like really something really new for me. Like, I worked so hard for this, so it doesn't surprise me. Just keep working hard and get the next victory on UFC Moncton.
And what was the feedback like on social media after the win? Because a lot of people were really impressed with your performance.
Yeah, like after the fight, I got like 50,000 followers now. Like a lot of people, they recognize us now, So a lot of people, they compare me to Kevin Gastelum because we look really similar. It's funny because we represent both the same team, like Kings AMA, and we're both in the same management, So it's a little bit funny, but yeah, and we are both southpaws. Like fighting wise, we have same style. It's crazy.
Okay, that's interesting. Did anyone message you saying they want any money on your fight? Because like I said, you were an underdog, so I'm sure some people want some money on that fight.
I saw on Twitter some guys, they want money, man. It's crazy. Like some guys who analyze the sport, they knew that the match in health fight, that we are not really bad, So some guys, they put money on us when when you can win a lot of money in the beginning, when the fight get announced, the odds, they are really bad, Like for me, later when people put money, the odds, they go a little bit down. So the people who bet money on me in the beginning of the when the fight get announced, I think they won some.
That's great to hear. Let's talk about this fight. A quick turnaround for you. How good is it to have management that can get you fights, relatively quickly?
Man, I'm really happy with Ali because he really takes care of me. He takes care of all his fighters, and of course, it feels good that I got a quick turnaround. I just fought like 9 weeks ago, and we know that some guys, they are waiting like for a year to get the fight because really stuck the division, So I really appreciate Ali's work and Sean Shelby, and I'm really happy to be with Ali because, man, he's the best manager, He takes so much care of his fighters, and people, they talk a lot of shit, but the numbers, they don't lie, So he's the best for a reason.
You and I were just talking about this before. I mean, he calls you a couple times a week. Am I right? I mean, you don't hear that from a lot of managers.
Yeah, man, he has like 6 UFC fighters, and he's calling me like twice a week. He's asking how the camp is, how my family is. And of course, it feels good to have people like who really takes care of you in your career, And I really appreciate that because it's really busy, man. If you have 60 fighters, like active fighters, like 60 fighters on the UFC, I don't know how many fighters he managed in PFL, and he has a family, he has kids, like, it's a lot of things, and I really appreciate that he takes the time, calls me on video chat, and not just a quick message, hey, how's everything, he calls, he asks, how's your brother, how's your family, how's training, how you feel, how's your weight. It's amazing, so it's great.
That's great to hear. Now, is this your first time fighting in Canada?
Yes, my first time in Canada.
So I was going to say, they tell you you're fighting in Moncton. Did you know anything about Moncton before taking this fight?
I never heard about Moncton, man. When I saw Canada, I say, okay, it's nice because it's like my second home now, And Moncton, I think it's a really small city. I heard it's a small city, but it's next to Montreal, so it's really good if I do my training camp here, just fly 1 hour over and then fight there.
And let's talk about your opponent here, Thibault Gouti. He's got that 12-4 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Like stylistic-wise, I'm really happy with this fight, because he's a guy, he comes to fight, Like my first fight, they had a guy who was a wrestler or grappler, he really tried to hug you. He pulled guard 2 times like matching head, It makes hard for me as a striker. It makes hard to really show your potential and make an exciting fight if you have a opponent like this, Like Marc Diakiese, also amazing, world-class striker, we put on a great show. And Thibault Gouti, I expect nothing else from him than being a good striker, He's a good wrestler also. He had a good fight against Sage Northcutt. So let's see, man.
One of the cool things I saw on social media is that you were actually sparring and training with, middleweights, higher weight class fighters. How much confidence does that give you knowing that you can, roll with guys like that?
man. Firas Zahabi, I trust him, I trust my career in his hands. He's the best. And like I spar lightweights, featherweights in my weight class, and I think, like you said, they have too much power for lightweight and featherweights. And some guys, they don't like to get hit too hard, Of course, I understand it's sparring, so he said, Nasrat, you know what? Now we're going to put you welterweights and middleweights. So with 16-ounce gloves and headgear, so I can really punch really, really hard, So now I have most of my training partners, they are like 1 or 2 weight class over me. That's okay, I have the speed advantage. They are maybe heavier, It's also good if he's heavier than you. It goes a lot on cardio, So it's only good for me.
Who are some of the training partners you get to work with?
Like Nordin Taleb, Elias Theodorou, Joe Duffy, for example, is also big lightweight, We have Eric Spicely here, Alex Garcia, so we have amazing guys, Also Stevie Ray, he came back to TriStar to prepare for his fight. And we have 4 guys fighting on UFC Moncton from TriStar. We have Nordin, me, Alex Garcia, and Stevie Ray.
And another guy I know who picked up a big win from your team recently, Louis Sanadakis. Just how cool is that, seeing him pick up a win in Brave? He's quite the talent.
Yeah, Louis, man, he's amazing hard worker, and it didn't surprise me that he got the victory because, in my opinion, he's UFC level, But sometimes the lack of slot or the opportunity is not on your side, So he took the Brave opportunity. Maybe later, and for sure, he's gonna sign for it with the UFC because he's world class. This guy's training really hard, I don't see any weakness. Like most of the guys at TriStar, most of the guys, they're not known, But sooner or later, we're gonna see them on the big stage.
How's the weight cut going? We got a bit of a ways away from this fight, but I imagine that process has already started.
Yeah, like always, I walk around with 180, 181, I'm not really light for lightweight. I cut like 8 kilos of water on fight week, I don't know how many pounds it is, but I feel really strong. Like if you saw compared to Marc Diakiese, a lot of people, they thought he's the better athlete. He was a better athlete, but I was much stronger and much more powerful than him, And this is perfect for my style because we use a lot of pressure, fast hands, heavy hands, So it's great, man. Like always, my weight is amazing, easy.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Yeah, like always, Firas Zahabi, my big brother, he's my striking coach, Hijo, we call him Hijo, and my strength conditioning coach, Yasser Hirsch, he's living in UK.
And what's next for you after this fight? Would you like to fight one more time this year, or are you looking more towards 2019 after this fight?
Yes, I would love to fight in December on the December card, UFC Toronto, But let's see, we never know, Now I stay healthy until the fight. After the fight, I hope I stay healthy, and maybe if I get the call and Sean Shelby says if we get the victory and everything goes good, like according to the plan, and I get the opportunity to fight in Toronto, it would be amazing because also pay-per-view, and I think a few guys from our team was going to fight there. So let's see. Yeah, I want to stay busy. I don't like this. Like a lot of fighters, they fight, they win, and then they think they won the title. They go 6 months partying hard, this and that, enjoying. Of course, you need to enjoy, but never lose focus. So I like to stay busy. I like to train hard. Being in camp, ready for the call.
And I know you don't watch much TV or you don't play any video games or anything like that. So what do you do when you're trying to unwind outside of training and competing?
Besides training and competing, man, I'm really boring. I just relax until the next training session. Also, I like to go on weekends to cinema, I like to spend a lot of time with my family because, like this year, for example, I only spent like 8 weeks in my hometown Hamburg with my family, and the year's almost over. So we travel a lot, and I really like to spend time with my family, my parents, grandmother, and I look forward to go back as soon as possible after the fight to see my family.
And we're looking forward to this fight, man. It's UFC Fight Night 138. Nasrat, it's always a pleasure. Always enjoy talking to you, my friend. Just to remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any thank yous or sponsors or anything like that, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I thank Buka Boxing and Baris. I have 2 big sponsors. Without them, it would not be possible. And thank you to Ali, to the best manager. Thank you to Firas Zahabi, my brother Hijo. Thank you to Master Rafael Cordero. And and 4 weeks going to put on a performance.